The G90 M5 was the most hated M5 from factory, but I've owned it almost a year now, done almost 5,000 miles. So today we're going to be finding out whether it's really that bad. Everywhere I go in this car, it splits opinions. Some people love it and some people hate it, but I think a lot of that is down to the looks of the car and what you read on the factory sheet when you actually buy the car. It's no secret that this car is obese. Coming in at 2,500 kg, the BMI is off the Richter scale. So it may weigh the same as a boat, but it now has 850 brake horsepower and 1,270 Newton meters of torque to push that boat along the road. That's quite a lot of power, and that's because this car has had a lot of modifications, which we're going to get into very shortly. So you might be wondering, 5,000 miles in the car, have I come across any major problems? At the moment, touch wood, it has been completely sweet. Not one issue. So fair play BMW. Actually, that was a lie, because we have had one small issue. The paddles in this car, the paddle shifters, are rubbish, to be honest. The paddle got defeated by an air freshener and snapped. To be honest, these paddles are actually crap. The plastic's like cheap and bendy and everything like that. It's one of the first things I noticed when I got in the car. But there was an air freshener hanging on this stalk. That got caught around the paddle, turned the steering wheel, snap the paddle straight off. So that just shows how crap these actually are. So in typical England fashion, we just got hit by a monsoon and got absolutely soaked, and we almost gave up filming, but it's sunny again, so we're back filming. Let's go through all of the mods which I've made to this car so far. For those that watch the channel, you'll know what we've already done to this, but I'll give you a quick brief overview of what we have done. The car's got a full TRE PR1 body kit on it, some Zunsport grills, HRE wheels. We've lowered the car, carbon mirror caps, carbon all round the car. But one main thing which I really didn't like about the car is the sound of the exhaust. It sounded so bad. So I'm going to show you what that sounds like now. Yeah, now it sounds like a proper V8. You also heard a little bit of intake noise because the car is also running a Venturi intake. Sound absolutely amazing. Also, we've got a TRE carbon engine cover along with the TDI tuning box, which is helping boost that power a little bit. You might have also noticed the car is purple. That's not a factory colour. This is actually Vinyl Frog coloured PPF Midnight Purple. So it's a paint protection film which changes the colour of the car. It's actually really, really good because it means that it protects the car against scratches and everything like that, and the actual finish looks like a paint finish, so I'm very happy with that. The original colour was Marina Bay Blue, which I'll throw an overlay of right now. I did really like that colour, I just wanted it to stand out a little bit more. But I think that's all the mods. There's probably a few little things which I've forgotten about, but I do want to talk about one major thing that I was very surprised about with this car, given it's a hybrid. I need to take you inside and talk about running costs. So this kind of surprised me because I understand this is a V8 engine, but it also is a hybrid. And this is the all-time combined MPG from factory, 18.5 MPG. That's from driving hard and driving completely normally. We actually done a road trip where we took the G87 M2 and the M5 over to Wales, and the M5 averaged 24 MPG and Jack's 700 brake horsepower G87 M2 averaged 38 MPG, and we was both driving exactly the same. But yeah, that's obviously where this additional weight is sucking up the MPGs. But if you're buying an M5, you're probably not thinking about MPGs, and I wouldn't worry about it too much, but I was a little bit surprised how bad the MPG actually was. This car has only had one service so far, and that's the running in service, and that was about 600 quid. I haven't done enough miles in the car yet to warrant a full service, but I'll let you know how much that is when I do. So a very common complaint about the G90 M5 is the build quality of the interior. And when I first read that online, I thought, what on earth is everyone going on about? Because I got in it and I thought it was absolutely amazing. But a few weeks ago, I got into an F90 M5 for the first time. It had extended leather and everything like that. And it was at that point I realized that this car was a bit of a downgrade in terms of build quality, 100%. I would say now, comparing it to the F90 M5, the G90 M5 looks more modern, more futuristic, but it feels a little bit more plasticky and made in China. I do love the seats and the steering wheel though, these are really nice. Another complaint online is how bad these cars look, but I'm going to be honest, I now love the look of this car. I think we've done a pretty good job of getting it looking nice. Aggressive, classy, angry, not for everyone, I don't care. I think it looks sick. But there is one thing that's really worrying me, and that's going to be how much this car's worth when it comes to selling. This was just over £110,000 new, and on Auto Trader, I'm seeing some pop up for high 90s already, and it's less than a year old. So this might be one of the easiest ways I've actually found to throw away loads of money. But none of this actually bothers me, because when I get behind the wheel of this thing, everything goes out the window. So let's go take it for a drive now. Ready?
Yeah.
Bro, it is so quick, it is a joke. I literally feel untouchable when I'm driving this car. For how big the car is, the power, it's literally insane. It is so fast. The brakes are good. Yes, you can feel the weight when you're absolutely pushing on, but does it make a difference when you're driving it on the road? Not at all. Nothing I have ever driven comes close to how this car drives on the roads. It is so good. Instant power from the hybrids flies.
It's actually insane. Genuinely.
It literally just flies.
It doesn't make sense.
I feel sick.
I feel sick. It doesn't make sense how something so big can be so fast and agile.
Don't get me wrong, right? When I say you can't feel the weight, you can feel the weight. When you're pushing really hard, what I've noticed in this car is if you're coming around a corner, it doesn't, well, it's not a rear wheel drive car, but I was about to say that it doesn't handle like a rear wheel drive car. You have to keep your foot on the throttle as you go around corners, because if you let off and you kind of coast round a corner, you then like push the car into a bit of an understeer and it feels a little bit like uneasy. But if you keep your foot in, it just drags the car straight round the corner, and there's minimal understeer. Every now and then you get a little bit of oversteer, but as a road car, this car drives absolutely insane. The only downside to driving this car is it's a nightmare to park anywhere, like parallel parking wise, because it's like 5.4 meters long, and it's so wide that down a back road, I would say down a back road it's definitely too wide.
Yeah.
But now I've got used to this car and the way that this car handles, I've got so much confidence in it, and I would say that it's probably one of the easiest cars I've ever had to drive fast. But at the same time, I completely understand why people will be like, well, you wouldn't want that because and that is another reason why I don't actually like this car, because you are a little bit disconnected because of how easy everything is. Like the steering, there's not much feedback in the steering.
No, I can see like just you moving it then how light it is.
Yeah, like it is so light. I get in my F82 M4, which I daily, and that is still a nice balance of like being modern and raw. As the F82 and the F series platform, it is definitely more driver orientated, but out and out performance, this is, my dad could literally jump in this now and comfortably be able to
push it.
Yeah,
this is like a cheat code.
Yeah, it is. It's like a cheat code car.
Yeah.
Just got to it's just so fast. So quick. Where the hybrid motors kick in, it cuts all of that turbo delay.
Yeah, there's none.
And the sound of it now, like with the Venturi intakes and the exhaust, like this is, it's not ASBO, but you can hear it when driving, whereas before you didn't have any of that, and now this just sounds so good.
I'm feeling sick.
Yeah, I'm going to end up throwing up.
You're dribbling.
Am I dribbling? Bro, was I actually dribbling? No, the M5's got me dribbling. Wait, cut that out, please, cut that. Why do you look like you're going to be sick?
Because I am.
So we decided to take a quick break from driving for a minute, but I want to talk a little bit more about the driving. So me and Jack took his G87 M2 and I took the G90 M5 to Wales through some beautiful Welsh roads. I had the pleasure of following him on some pretty spirited drives. His car's pretty much a track spec G87 M2, 700 brake horsepower, it's got bucket seats, everything like that, and Jack's a pretty good driver, and I had no issue at all keeping up with him in this car with 5 people in the car, loads of camera equipment. This car, I would have been able to overtake him at the pace that he was driving, and he wasn't sort of mucking about.
No, and we were on roads that suited the M2.
But I'm not saying that the M2 is less capable. I would say the M2 is definitely more capable on a back road, but this car gives you the confidence and the ability to drive out of your means.
Yeah.
I would probably say that's like you
fair,
you can drive this car at the limit and you'd feel comfortable.
I don't think you're going to get to the limit of this car.
I think on the road you'd struggle.
Yeah, it's so fast.
It is, yeah, it's just incredibly quick. And even still, the power is, say for instance, you're on the road and Jack's took a corner at 40 mile an hour and he's pushing it at 40 mile an hour. I can take this corner at 30 mile an hour, but come so fast out of that corner, I'm going to catch him straight away.
Yeah.
I think that's like probably the best way of explaining it. The power and the power delivery of this is so brutal. You can literally get your foot flat down to the ground, 1,270 newton meters of torque to push you straight out of that corner.
Yeah, the hybrid system's so good that the power delivery almost feels like fully electric, where there is no delay.
Yeah, literally.
There is no delay when you put your foot down. The electric motors and then the turbos.
It works so perfectly.
Yeah.
It literally just feels like you've got really fast spooling turbos. Like it's just, you can literally see in our bodies when I let off how much torque that is like, and that's me. Both of us being used to this car.
You have to tense up, otherwise you're just getting thrown around.
That's it. And in terms of driving the car, like for daily use, it's absolutely perfect. Like you can just switch it. I was obviously in all the sport modes, 4-wheel drive sport and everything like that, but you can switch it into a completely normal mode and it's really comfortable. Like you can have your nan in here, she'd be chilling.
You would never know that you were just having it off on the back roads.
No, like it's a little blender.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is now where we've put an exhaust system on it, you can actually start the car up in electric mode. So it means that none of my neighbours can even hear me start this car up until I get to the end of the road and then just pop it into the main mode and then start the car.
One thing that I will say, where I've driven this car, is it's so well sound insulated. When we went out together and you were in your M4, you told me that you beeped at me. And I didn't even know. You were next to me and you beeped, and I didn't know because I didn't hear it, because you cannot tell what's going on the outside because it's so well insulated. And that goes back to then the exhaust. We've got the full Miltech system and it sounds unreal when you're outside. But inside, unless you have the window cracked,
you can't hear
it.
Yeah, you literally can't hear the exhaust at all. You can hear the intakes because the intakes are just chuffing right in front of you. But yeah, you are right, the insulation is probably the best I've heard in any car. So now I'm going to give you my brutally honest opinion on what I think about this car. At first, I really wasn't too sure, especially looking at it on pictures online, videos online. I even see one in real life at Goodwood and I was like, what is that? But at AUTOID, I knew it had a potential in terms of mods, making it look better and stuff like that, but I was still really worried about how it was going to drive. When I got it, I was actually really impressed. And with the mods that I've made to this car, it has taken the car to a completely new level. The car drives so well. I think overall the car is absolutely amazing. But there's one thing I do really regret, and that's the fact that I didn't go for a touring. I think the M5 Saloon is absolutely great, but it almost does feel a little bit pointless when you put it next to the touring, because the touring does everything that this does with more usability, and I think it even looks better, to be honest. It has a nicer rear end. So yeah, that's my main regret with this car. I think if you're going for an M5, go for an M5 Touring. So there's obviously a lot more I could talk about with this car and things I haven't gone into in this video, but I've just spoke about the things which I've noticed the most in my ownership with this car. If you want to see the journey of this car, we have a full-blown G90 playlist on the AUTOID YouTube channel, so make sure you check that out. And if you want to take your car up a level, make sure you head over to the AUTOID website, select shop by car, loads of different models there if you don't own a G90 M5, and use code YouTube5 and you're going to get a discount off of your order. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you guys next Sunday.